Morning guys, so here we are again at Dunton Mill Fishery. It's the 11th of August 2024. Just got here, checked in, and we'll see if we can get a few trout on the bank. Yeah, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a special treat here because I just can't resist trying to get close in on these brook trout. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video of the brook trout, the footage of the brook trout. That's what I couldn't catch. They just weren't interested, so we're going to just try just a little bit natural buzzer stuff. Just really subtle and natural. See if we can sniff something out. There's a trout just literally about 6 feet from that tree line. Let's see if we can drop this in front of it. Yep, right. Come on. I think these fish are just happy to swim around today and just bask in the sunshine, really. Alright, I'll try one more cast with this little subtlety and then we'll change. And probably go Larry again. Yes, we got one. Got one, Sam. That was on that little tiny kind of woolly. Probably only about a couple of feet down.
Yeah, Rick's catching something, look.
Do you want to net it, Frank?
Huh? Do you want to put it in the net?
Took it really subtly as well, right? If you just drop the net into the water.
Go towards the water, Frank. Pick the net up.
Right.
Oh, it's a good size.
That's not bad, is it? I just put the net in the water.
That's it, mate.
Good lad.
Dip the net in. Dip the net in.
That's it, buddy.
Yeah. Can't see it. It's so bright.
He's flashing. Ah! You got me. Ah!
There we go, there we go. Wow, look at that, Frank.
Dad, who is that fish for?
That's for Rick.
Okay.
Rick caught this. There we go. Bring it up here. Big step.
Not a bad one. Right guys, so we just got back from Dunton Mill Trout Fishery. This trout was caught approximately 1 hour ago. So I'm just going to show you now how I would fillet the trout off, and then in the next video we're going to show you how to cure the trout ready for the cold smoker. So this trout came in at 4 pound weight exactly. So we're just going to initially just lift up the dorsal fin, the pectoral fin, and then angle the knife at 45 degrees and just cut in until you reach the spine. And then flip the knife round so it's facing the tail, and just keeping it at a very, very shallow angle next to the spine, we'll just cut down. quite a large fillet, so it's a little bit tricky. Okay, we'll just put the trout to the side. Then what we'll do is we'll just cut down the edge of the pin bones. We're just going to do a very, very, very shallow sweep just to cut the ribs away from the fillet. Right, now what we'll do is we'll just cut that belly fat off, put that in the bag. Trim it up to make it a little bit neater. Now, a lot of people take the pin bones out at this stage. I like to cure the fish first to dehydrate it, and then it just makes the pin bones that little bit easier to get out. So, yeah, there we have it, easy. Now, before we do the next fillet, we'll just clean up the area a little bit. Place this fillet off to the side. Right, and there we have our second fillet, and none of the meat has been wasted. Now, sometimes what I'll do is I'll keep this for my crab pots, because I can then use that as bait, free bait, while I'm out smoothhound fishing in the summer. Now, obviously rainbow trout's nice and oily, so the crabs do like that in the pot. And again, we'll just trim up the belly fat. There we go, that's the ribs off. And then we're just tidying it up. A little bit of that fat off as well as the dorsal. Alright, and then we've got our two fillets ready for the next video where I'll show you how to cure them, ready for the smoker. Now we're going to prepare these washed fillets for the curing process, which takes about 24 hours. So what you'll need is an airtight container, and then what I normally do is make a 50-50 salt and sugar mix up. I've added some dill, you can probably see the little bits of dill, that just goes well with fish. Lots of YouTube videos will talk about rock salt and brining and this, that and the other. I've tried a brine mix, and honestly I don't really like it. I prefer sort of dry curing as opposed to wet curing, because the trout, when it's brined, it just tends to come out a little bit sloppy, I find. So what we'll do here, we'll take our 50-50 just normal table salt and sugar. Doesn't have to be expensive rock salt, because at the end of the day all we're trying to trigger is osmosis to try and dehydrate the fillets. So we'll take our mix and we'll just lightly coat the bottom of the There we go. And what I like to do is put the trout's skin side up. Now, obviously, you can do layers of trout because I only caught one trout today, but had I caught two, I would have followed the same initial process with skin side up, and then the second batch of fillets would have been skin to skin with the flesh up. You can do flesh to flesh if you want, but I prefer skin to skin because then that leaves all surfaces of the flesh fully exposed to the rub. So then we just chuck some of that over the trout. Now this will stay in the fridge for 12 hours. Obviously if it was thicker fillets it would be slightly longer, but for your average kind of, for your average rainbow trout, maybe between sort of 3 and 6 pounds, I like to just pop it in the fridge for 12 hours. We'll obviously check back and let you see how it's getting on. But 12 hours is just enough time to take sufficient water out of the fillets to essentially cure them, ready for the smoker. The thicker the fillet, you would leave it in for slightly longer, or if your preference is kind of a more dehydrated, biltong type result, then obviously you would leave it in for longer. So that'll go in the fridge now for 12 hours. And I'll bring you back along the way to see how we're getting on. Right guys, so it's the following morning. These trout have now been in for approximately 22 hours. And you can see all that juice has accumulated, so the trout are effectively now semi-dehydrated, and I reckon they're ready to air dry. So you can see how the fillet's basically nice and rigid. So what we need to do now is we need to just pop those into the sink, and we'll just wash off all that solution. Sorry if you can hear my eggs frying in the background. Yeah, this is just to wash off all the excess salt, really, because we don't really want any salty flavour in that fillet whatsoever. And the next step for these is going to be to pardon me. The next step for these guys is going to be to air dry, literally just in the fridge, exposed, and that will form what's called a pellicule, which is a very thin kind of filament on the actual surface of the trout. And some said that helps the actual smoke to stick better. Sometimes I've gone through this air drying process, other times I haven't. I can't see that it makes too much difference, but as it's still summer and we're in no rush to get into the cold smoker, and I'm actually off to work now until this evening, we may as well just go through that process. But like I said, I don't think it makes a huge difference. Some even say that if the pellicule is too thick, it almost stops the smoke penetrating the flesh. So that's all that rinsed off. What we do next is just fill the sink up, just enough to cover the fillets, and then we'll just leave those there for approximately 15 minutes, and that'll just draw out any sort of excess salt and sugar from the flesh itself. Again, kind of what's just happening. There we go. Right, so we'll just leave that now for 10-15 minutes. I'll bring you back then. Right, so that's been about 10 minutes. Right, and there we have 2 cured trout fillets. Again, you can vary the time that they're in the fridge curing depending on how firm you want the flesh. Right, this is the last of my paper towel, so I'm just going to use that as carefully as possible. Actually, what we'll do is we'll grab a tea towel. Right, and there we go. Right, and then we're just going to use the lid of the lunchbox, as these fillets are a little bit too big for a plate. And there we have 2 trout fillets ready to air dry until I get home from work in approximately 12 hours. Right guys, so we're just removing the pin bones now before we prepare the cold smoker. I much prefer waiting until the trout fillets have cured before I start to remove these pin bones, because once cured, the fillet's partly dehydrated, which gives a lot more maneuverability to the flesh to get these little pin bones out. I have tried to remove them when the fillets are freshly cut, but they're just so embedded in that fresh flesh that it's just hard work, and they end up breaking, and it's just frustrating. So yeah, we're just feeling our way along, just removing these final few pin bones, and then I'll show you how I go about cold smoking them. Yeah, that's Frank, my flat coat retriever. He doesn't actually like fish. He doesn't like fish. He likes practically everything else. And then this little fellow's Pom Pom, and yeah, he loves fish. There we go. There's your little rainbow trout. Good boy. You don't like. Right guys, so we have our smoker here and the wood dust has been glowing away for a few minutes and you can see that's starting to fill up with smoke, so I think that is taken nicely. And we're just going to hang our 2 rainbow trout fillets here, and we'll check back occasionally to make sure that the smoker is still smoking, but basically they'll just sit there now for 6 to 8 hours. Right, so it's just gone midnight, everyone's in bed and I'm up doing this. So these have been smoking now for approximately 7 hours, close to 8 hours perhaps. So we're going to take these inside now and I'll bring you back for the next bit. Okay, so these have rested in the fridge overnight just to let the intense kind of smoky flavour kind of settle into the flesh. So they're ready now to enjoy. So yeah, I've really enjoyed the process of catching, curing, filleting, and ultimately smoking. And obviously you can kind of tinker around with those elements. So for example, the curing process, if you want the meat, drier, you just cure it for longer. You can tinker around with different smoking flavors. This one, like I said, is applewood, which is my favorite. So yeah, these are ready to enjoy. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.